readers make predictions. Do you know what a prediction is? Kate, do you know?
Yeah, they guess what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's kind of like telling what's going to happen in the future. So we can make predictions to help us understand the story better. And we can make predictions by looking at pictures and paying attention when we're reading, paying attention to the words. Okay, so we're going to read the story Old Bear by Jane Hissey. And I'm going to try and make a prediction about who's Old Bear. If I look at the picture, I can see this bear's little, this bear's looks like he's kind of young too, and the bear in the middle looks older, so I'm thinking that that might be Old Bear. Yeah, that's Old Bear. So first I'm going to make some predictions, and then later on I'm going to ask you guys to help me make some predictions. Yes, Allison?
Why is it called Old Bear?
Well, I think we're going to find out. Let's start reading.
Is there a problem in it?
There is a problem in it, and I think that's going to become very clear later on. Yes, Kate?
Maybe Old Bear is that one in the middle because or maybe that's not Old Bear because it's just a stuffed toy. Toys don't have birthdays.
Okay, well, let's start reading. In this story, the bear does have a birthday. It wasn't anybody's birthday, but Bramwell Brown had a feeling that today was going to be a special day. He was sitting thoughtfully on the windowsill with his friends Duck, Rabbit, and Little Bear when he suddenly remembered that someone wasn't there who should be. So if I look at the picture, I can see the bear from the cover of the story isn't in there with them, and he's down here. So I think that my prediction was correct, and this is Old Bear. Okay.
Wow, I didn't know that stuffed animal had a birthday.
Well, it's not a birthday. He said it wasn't anybody's birthday, but Bramwell Brown had a feeling that today was going to be special. A very long time ago, he had seen his good friend Old Bear being packed away in a box. Then he was taken up a ladder through a trap door and into the attic. The children were being too rough with him, and he needed to go somewhere safe for a while. I wonder how he got up here. Someone must have had to carry him up on the ladder, right?
Yeah. I think it's because it's awesome.
Has he been forgotten, do you think, Bramwell asked his friends. I think he might have been, said Rabbit. Well, said Little Bear, isn't it time he came back down? The children are older now and would look after him properly. Let's go and get him. I think that they might be using the blocks to go up to the attic, but I'm not sure if it's going to work because if you look up here, you can see that Little Bear kind of looks like he might fall over. I hope he doesn't get hurt.
He's a stuffed animal.
What a marvelous idea, said Bramwell. But how can we rescue him? It's a long way up to the attic, and we haven't got a ladder. We could build a tower of blocks, suggested Little Bear. Oh, I was right. Rabbit collected all the blocks, and the others set about building the tower. It grew very tall, and Little Bear was putting on the last block when the tower began to wobble. Look out, he cried, as the whole thing came tumbling down. I was right. Never mind, said Bramwell, helping Little Bear to his feet. We'll just have to think of something else. I wonder what they might think of and if it will work. Oh, it looks like they might be, I look at this picture, I can see them look like they're climbing on top of each other. Kate, you're going to have a turn soon to make predictions, okay?
You see.
You see? Everybody see? Let's try making ourselves into a tower. Great idea, said Bramwell. Little Bear climbed on top of Rabbit's head and Rabbit hopped onto Duck's beak. They stretched up as far as they could, but then Duck opened his beak to say something. Rabbit wobbled and they all collapsed on top of Bramwell. Sorry, said Duck. Perhaps that wasn't a very good idea. Not one of your best, said Bramwell from somewhere underneath the heap. I know, said Rabbit. Let's try bouncing on the bed. Wonder if this will work. They would have to bounce really, really high, right? Trust you to think of that, said Bramwell. You could never resist a bit of bouncing, especially when it's not allowed. Rabbit climbed on top of the bed and began to bounce up and down. The others joined him. They bounced higher and higher, but they still couldn't reach the trapdoor in the ceiling. Wonder what they're going to try next. Yes, Kate?
I predict it's something that they're going to fall again.
You think? Well, you're going to be able to make a prediction soon. Duck began to cry. Oh dear, he sobbed. What are we going to do now? We'll never be able to rescue Old Bear. And he'll be stuck there, lonelier and lonelier forever and ever. We mustn't give up, said Bramwell firmly. Come on, Little Bear. You're good at ideas. But Little Bear had already noticed the plant in the corner of the room. I wonder what he could do with the plant. Maybe he would stand on top of it. That's what I'm predicting. Okay, but we're not making predictions yet. This is Miss O'Connor's last prediction, and then it's your turn to predict. I've got it, he cried. I could climb up this plant, swing from the leaves, kick the trapdoor open, and jump in. Oh, so my prediction was wrong. He's swinging on the leaves. In case it wobbled, Bramwell Brown, Duck, and Rabbit steadied the pot. Little Bear bravely climbed up the plant until he reached the very top leaf. He took a hold of it and started to swing to and fro, but he swung so hard that the leaf broke and he went crashing down. Luckily, Bramwell Brown was right underneath to catch him in his paws. That was rotten. Okay, so now it's going to be your turn to predict. All right, but you can make one soon, okay? Because this is going to help you with your prediction, said Little Bear. Sophie? What was I thinking, said Duck. Was it as a pity I can't fly very well, as it could have been a great help. So what do you think might happen? He's talking about flying. Aha, said Bramwell. That, my dear Duck, has given me a very good idea. I think this one might work. Jillian, what do you think you might do?
I predict that will, I think, the rabbit, the duck, and the bear, and the little bear will work together and figure it out. I think.
Hey, did you have another prediction?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think might happen?
Maybe they're gonna do another thing, and I guess they're gonna fall down again and again and again until they get to the end.
Okay, well, let's see. In the corner of the playroom was a wooden airplane with a propeller that went round and round. What do you think that they might do with this? Joshua?
They might get on the airplane
And fly, maybe? Cassie?
Maybe they're gonna like fly, but then it's a toy, so maybe it'll fall. Because toys can't go so high.
So
Some
how do
toys
you
can
know?
fly. Some toys.
Okay, let's keep reading and then we can make another prediction. We could use this plane to get to the trap door, so you guys were right. Your prediction was correct. Rather dangerous, I know, but quite honestly, I can't think of another way to get Old Bear. Oh, sorry. I can't bear to think of Old Bear up there alone for a minute longer. I'll be pilot, said Rabbit, hopping up and down, making airplane noises. And I'll stand on the back and push the trap door open with my paintbrush, said Little Bear. But how will you get down? Asked Duck. How do you think you might get back down? Jillian?
I think they're gonna get down with a pillow.
Okay, but let's try and look at the pictures because that's going to help us predict. Jocelyn?
Pick the paintbrush.
What, you think he's going to pick the paintbrush to get down? Nathan, what do you think? Let's look at the picture for clues.
Like it's going to jump off.
Okay, well, let's see what's happened. But how will you get down, asked Duck. I've already thought of that, said Bramwell, who hadn't really but quickly did. They can use these handkerchiefs as parachutes and we'll catch them in a blanket. Did someone say blanket?
I was going to say blanket first.
I thought I heard someone say.
No, I want to say first.
Okay. Well, your prediction was correct, or almost correct. Bramwell gave Little Bear two big handkerchiefs and a flashlight so he could see into the attic. Then he began to wind up the propeller of the plane. Rabbit and Little Bear climbed aboard, and Bramwell began to count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0! They were off. The plane whizzed along through the carpet and flew into the air. Do you think that's going to work?
Yes. Yes, because
I ask you a question. Do you think the airplane is going to work to fly up to save Old Bear?
Yeah. I think.
Why do you think? We can remember, what did Miss O'Connor say? She said we can look at the pictures as clues to help us predict. Annalie, do you have an idea?
Yeah.
What's your prediction?
My prediction is it'll work because they're going to rescue Old Bear.
Okay, Ryan, what? Okay, Allison.
They use the plane and the paintbrush, so if they use the paintbrush, they can just nozzle it open like a beer can.
Okay, we're going to keep reading. All right, because I think that Allison has a really good idea, and her prediction, we'll see if it's correct. Okay, Kate, can you put your hand down right now? Well, do you think it worked?
Yeah! Yes!
All right, let's read.
Pardon the interruption, Mr. Belfine. They're ready for you for the bus evacuation. Thank you.
The little plane flew beautifully, and the first time they passed the trap door, Little Bear was able to push the lid open with a paintbrush. Allison's prediction was correct. Then Rabbit circled the plane again, this time very close to the hole. Ryan, can you look up here? And I don't need you to play with my note cards, thank you.
Go down.
Thank you. Little Bear grabbed the edge with a mighty heave and he pulled himself in. He got out the flashlight and looked around. The attic was very dark and quiet, full of boxes, old clothes, and dust.
Yeah.
He couldn't see Old Bear at all. Any bears in here? He whispered, and stood still to listen. From somewhere quite near, he heard a muffled grrr, followed by, did somebody say something? Little Bear moved a few things aside, and there, propped up against a cardboard box covered in dust, was Old Bear.
What?
Poor Old Bear. Oh, look, there's a picture that shows us, look at Old Bear. Do you think that they'll be able to come back down?
Yes.
Why do you think that, Julian?
Because they will get, when the parachute goes there, Little Bear and Old Bear will fly themselves with their arms, and then the blankets, Grandma and Doug will hold the blanket so they can lie down safely.
So you're predicting that they're going to use the parachute to come back down?
Yeah.
Okay, I think Jillian, let's see if her prediction's correct. Can you wait? Little Bear jumped up and down with excitement. Old Bear, I found Old Bear. So you have, said Old Bear. Have you been lonely, said Little Bear. Quite lonely, said Old Bear, but I've been asleep a lot of the time. Well, would you like to come back down to the playroom with us now? That would be lovely, replied Old Bear. But how will we get down? Don't worry about that, said Little Bear. Bramble has thought about everything. He's given us these handkerchiefs to use as parachutes. So Jillian's prediction was correct. Yay. Good old Bramwell, said Old Teddy. I'm glad he didn't forget me. Old Bear stood up and then shook the dust out of his fur, and Little Bear helped him into this parachute. They went over to the hole in the ceiling. Ready, shouted Rabbit. Steady, shouted Duck. Go, shouted Bramwell Brown. Ryan, can you look up? The two bears leapt bravely from the hole in the ceiling. Their handkerchief parachutes opened out and they floated gently down, landing safely in the blanket, like Jillian said she made her prediction. All right. Welcome home, Old Bear, said Bramwell Brown, patting his friend on the back. The others patted him too, just to make him feel at home. It's nice to have you back, they said. It's nice to be back, replied Old Bear.
I think they will have a rest again.
That night, when all the animals were tucked in bed, Bramwell thought